Ladies and gentlemen, this is Metagetics, and welcome to Rediscovery of Dragon Ball, Volume 1, Chapter 2. Simply titled, No Balls. Now, over the course of our adventure, I will be paraphrasing as well as skimming over a few things for the sake of time and story focus. Do rest assured I will cover any details that become important down the road. Dragon Ball's story and art come from the talented mind of Japan's own Akira Toriyama. With this being a Japanese manga, the panels will read from top right to bottom left. If this is your first time on the channel and would like to join us from the beginning, please check the description down below and I'll leave a link to Volume 1, Chapter 1. So jumping right in, we pick up with our heroes at the end of their first day together. Still traveling via motorcycle, Goku breaks his silence, reconfirming more so to himself that since they already have 3 of the 7 Dragon Balls, getting the rest should be a snap. This is where Bulma kindly reminds Goku that the world is a lot larger than he realizes. These Dragon Balls, according to the radar, are scattered to the winds. A short time later, Goku declares he's hungry about the same time Bulma decides it's getting too late to travel, and it's time to stop for the night. Content with the choice Bulma made, Goku hops off and claims he's going to gather the softest leaves for his makeshift bed. Bulma scoffs at the idea of sleeping out in the wild. With no lodging or homes in sight, Goku has no idea what she plans to do otherwise. The only thing she says is capsule time, with a big smile. In pure disbelief, Goku asks if she has a house in one of her magical whatchamacallits. And again she reminds him they're hoi poi capsules. And of course she does. Looking for a level spot, Goku clears out, still weary of her ways. And just like the bike they rode in on, she clicked the top of the capsule, tossed it, and out popped a house. He just couldn't wrap his head around the idea of a house popping out of thin air like that. Goku simply had to ask at least one last time if she was really a witch. Disregarding his simple-mindedness, Bulma took Goku inside. She couldn't help but refer to him as little Tarzan when he was once again blown away by working electricity and television. Finally settled in, it wasn't long before Bulma realized that Goku flat out stunk like outdoors and B.O. She put her foot down and told him he needed to take a bath before she would even feed him. And to her surprise this time, Goku had no idea what a bath was. At this point, Bulma determined she would have to help her new friend get clean. Getting Goku stripped down and in the tub, she starts scrubbing away, openly stating that he should feel lucky, and plenty of guys would dream about her giving them a bath. Now Goku, of course, feels this is all a waste of time. Now the next few scenes contextually are probably some of the most comedic in the first couple chapters of the manga. It really does highlight manga creator Akira Toriyama's ability to keep things lighthearted in an innocently fun demeanor. Bulma first gets a little annoyed that Goku took the time to pin his supposed fake tail straight to his backside and begins to scold him. Giving it a tug and trying to yank it off, Goku just offers her a deadpan stare and takes a brush from her hand with his tail, informing her he can wash his own backside, and begins doing so. She lets out a shriek and bolts from the bathroom straight to her bed, and it wasn't long before he followed after her with a towel drying off. Goku then tells her he didn't think she'd be that surprised about his tail, that it must be something girls just don't have, only guys. You see, this throws Bulma off, since she's actually never seen a guy naked before, and at this point she's confused if the boys have them or not. As the dialogue continues, she admits she knew guys had something up front, but nothing in the back like a tail. Now Goku semi-laughs it off, admitting his grandfather didn't have one either, but he was kinda weird, so there's no telling. So at this point, Bulma just accepts Goku to be the way he is, declaring he's the weird one after all. Eventually leaving Goku to take her own bath, Bulma began reflecting on how strange and unusual this little monkey boy was. Lost in thought, she glances over to see Goku just staring at her with a puzzled look on his face. Bulma drops low in the tub and shrieks out, covering herself as best she could, demanding to know what he's looking at. Unknowingly, Goku asks if instead of a tail, girls just had an extra butt on their chest. Now Bulma's furious. Quick to correct Goku, she declares it's not a butt, they're boobs, and once he's a little older, he's going to realize hers are incredible. Next, we as the reader will finally get confirmation of how old our adventurers are. Bulma proceeds to ask exactly how old Goku is, and he responds by telling her he's 14. With that, she responds by throwing everything she can reach at him, calling him a perv, and that he's only 2 years younger than she is. Now this of course confirms that Bulma is 16. So, ladies and gents, we may be looking at both the smartest and dumbest people in the world right now. At least at such an early age. Our next transition takes us back to the dining area. Goku brings up the fact that he is starving, and since he went along with her request for a bath, she proceeds to feed him, until he's had his fill. Coming to the realization that what Bulma was supplying didn't exactly meet his appetite's needs, Goku decides to put his shoes on and go out hunting for some real food, which he returns a short time later with a wolf and a centipede for flavor. Utterly disgusted with his results, Bulma basically locks him out until he's done eating his new meal options, even after Goku offered to cook the meat to a nice medium for her. Finally back inside, Goku's ready for bed and excited to be sleeping with someone again, for the first time in what seemed like forever. Always quick on her toes, Bulma corrects her odd little friend that he'll be sleeping on the floor and not using her as a pillow as he'd hoped. Getting ready for bed, Bulma was curious enough to ask Goku what happened to his parents and where they were. Here he responds by telling her he didn't know. His best guess was that they abandoned him in the mountains, and that's where his adoptive grandfather found him and decided he was worth keeping, while laughing out loud. Here Bulma questions how he can find such levity with a situation like that. She verbally wondered if they left him because he had a tail. And in one of the best quippy moments Goku's ever had, he asked Bulma if her parents abandoned her because she had an extra butt on her chest, which of course pissed her off. Here Bulma was soon to calm down and began to explain she wasn't abandoned. She just happened to be on summer vacation from school and only had about 30 days left before she had to go back. Now this of course puts her on a ticking clock to find the last 4 Dragon Balls. Glancing over after explaining her situation, she was clearly aggravated that Goku wasn't even paying attention, due to the fact that he was sound asleep. Now moving on, early the next morning Goku awoke well before Bulma and began his morning stretches. He couldn't help but notice Bulma was without a doubt out like a light. She was also not wearing anything besides her panties and a sleep shirt. Goku figured this was the best opportunity to see if she was as comfortable as his grandfather was. He hopped up on the bed, gave her a little pat, and laid down. Something just didn't feel right. It wasn't very pillowy. He next pulled off her underwear, and when he went to investigate, he let out a wail of horror jumping back. Now this, of course, immediately wakes Bulma from her slumber, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Comically, all Goku could stutter was that her balls were missing. Clearly, Bulma was under the impression that Goku was referring to a different set of balls. The Dragon Balls, to be precise. She hazardly bolted for the table to see if what he said was actually true. Still a little out of it, she basically sums everything up to Goku having a nightmare, and scolds him for making it all up. Now she may find out the hard way that our young friend was distinctly talking about something else. Now, as a minor disclaimer, please keep in mind that Goku is not a little perv or anything. I would just like to stress that fact, as well as to think that most people will know doing what Goku did is not the most appropriate or normal thing. But then again, neither is he. At this age, Goku has no actual grasp on what normal etiquette is. In these regards, he truly has a childlike innocence and understanding of things. And that brings us to the end of Chapter 2 of the Dragon Ball manga. If you're new here and enjoy the video, please don't forget to give a like and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, every single one counts. It's my personal goal to bring you content in the form of at least one video a week. The more the channel grows, the more content you can expect. Feel free to comment down below on how you discovered Dragon Ball, and even what kind of videos you'd like to see moving forward. Again, this is Metagetics, thanking you for your time, and I hope to see you again.